Hi, everybody. Welcome back to another episode of Him and I. I'm so excited to see you guys. Today, I have something super, super special. I hope you guys are doing wonderful. And I'm so excited to introduce you guys to a super old friend of mine. I think I've known him since I was like 10 years old. But I think this is going to be a really edifying. Is that a word? Edifying?
Yeah.
I'm thinking of it in
Edifying.
Spanish. That's why. But I think this is going to be like a really good episode for you guys. So I want to introduce you guys to my friend Seb.
What's going on? My name's Sebastiano. I'm back from my first semester at college.
Woohoo!
It's kind of crazy.
That is crazy.
I'm definitely ready to go back to the warm weather though. This like 20 degrees, ain't it? Like
Yeah, he goes to college in
North Carolina. So yeah.
Forgot that he's from Boston.
I actually forgot my jacket today too. I just be walking out of the house like I'm like, all right, where
Is it actually like always hot there?
Not always hot, but like
Better than
the
this.
coldest it gets at night is like our highs of the day, like 40-ish.
Really?
But like the first like 3 weeks of school, everyone was at the pool. It's like 90 degrees. It's like
Lucky.
yeah. Our spring starts a little earlier too. So.
Yeah, because I know like Georgia, I used to think it was like always, because I go to Georgia sometimes.
Yeah.
I used to think it's like always hot, but it's not. Like it'd be cold.
Yeah,
so,
it gets cold. It's like sweatshirt.
But not like
sometimes.
us.
Yeah.
Like here it's like hats, like mittens, like
Yeah,
coats.
you're not using like a heavy jacket or
Yeah,
something.
no. But okay, so it's the new year. Like when this video comes out, it'll be 2025.
Yeah.
So how was your holidays? Like how did you spend?
Lots of family. Like obviously that's the biggest thing, the biggest reason I'm home.
Of course.
Lots of prayer, especially for me, like going into 2025, like my family and I looking to further our relationship with Christ and kind of just like start on the right foot. Yeah, that's really it.
Yeah.
2025, yeah.
That's awesome. How's like I guys, I can't talk about college because I'm still senior in high school.
Soon enough though. Soon
Yeah.
enough.
So, but I mean, how has college, like, how has that transition from not only high school but from a whole other state? Like, how has that how are you doing with that? I mean,
It was definitely like for the people that knew me before going to college, like I almost wish I had a GoPro on like the first few months because it's like so many your identity is questioned in so many ways when you especially leave states. And I'm like, I went several months without seeing my family. It's like those people that were your number one influences like aren't there anymore. So two of the biggest things I learned was like the power of time management. I found that I was like so much closer to God, so much more productive when I was blocking out my days and saying like, this is what I'm going to do, because college, they give you so much more freedom.
Yeah.
All of the things you need to do are within like a 1 mile-ish radius. So it's like, you go back to your dorm and it's like, okay, are you going to sit there and like doom scroll on social media? Or are you going to get into the word, go to the gym, get your homework done, like get in those extra things that need to happen, clean your room too. yeah, that gets up to you, that catches up to you. But like that, and then picking your friends.
Oh yeah.
Picking your friends is huge because it's like you don't have your parents like they're advising you. You don't have like you're so susceptible to the people around you. So noticing who's bringing you closer to God and who's bringing you further is huge for your own like mental state, but also your relationship with God, because you need to surround yourselves with both groups, but make sure that you're relying on like other mature Christians who have been through certain like spiritual battles that you need to learn from, all the things. So
Wow, that sounds like a wonderful transition. If anybody's concerned about their like college transition, I would take his advice, because
we're definitely gonna have to do like a college segment.
absolutely,
like
totally. But so today we have something super special for you guys. I'm mainly gonna just let Seb, just start, and I'm so grateful that God has given me the opportunity to allow Seb to come on here and share a little bit of his story, a little bit of something that would be just great food for the girls and boys of this generation. And we both pray that this is just so helpful to anybody who may need it. And as you guys know, as I always say, this is a place that's shame-free, judgment-free. And I'm really excited to see what God's going to do with today's word. It's a little bit deeper. It's a little bit different. It's a little bit, not something that people would like to talk about, but I think that that's the whole point. You know what I mean? You guys know that I just did a couple episodes on mental health too. I know that can be like a little bit of a touchy subject with Christians, and I love all the touchy subjects, so you guys got me. So here's what
gets the views,
exactly. Chill. Gonna get me canceled before I get it. But yeah, Seb.
So like when I was thinking about what I wanted to talk about, one of the biggest things that came into my mind was this like realization that I had. So I've been going through, since I got to college, I've been going through the New Testament. And, one thing that's really awesome about college is that I've realized it's a huge blessing. So we had a pastor come to the church that I go to down in North Carolina, and he's a youth pastor, travels the world. And the biggest thing he said, he was like, take advantage of every moment you have on a college campus. He's like, if you think you can't impact the world, look at your college campus. We have 6,000 students. Everyone comes from I think we have 48 different states in the United States, a bunch of different countries outside of that. Like your campus is a small portion of the world.
Yeah.
And so that like changed my whole mindset on the way I handle myself on like campus. I walk around with no AirPods in so I can say hi to everybody, because like I'm trying to be an ambassador for Jesus on this campus. And that's something that I've learned is like just going to be one of my goals for while I'm there at school. And the reason I bring that up is because, I have a tattoo on my forearm. Like a lot of people see it. A lot of people ask me about it. And I've realized that this is one of the ways that I can be an ambassador is people ask me about it all the time, no matter who, young, old, everyone. And, the verse I have on here is Philippians 4:13. And when I got it, I was telling you before, it was almost one of those things. It's like those like Instagram caption type of verse where it's like, oh yeah, like I'm strong, like I can do these things through Christ.
Bro. Like sometimes the worst people be having those in their bios. Like, y'all, all right now.
Yeah, especially as like a young guy, you think, oh yeah, like yeah, God will help me like pick up this weight, or like, yeah, I'm about to be like 100% from the field
I
today.
Can do all things through Christ.
Yeah, I can do all things, like I'm Superman or something. But then like that. I remember one day I was starting like my devotional in the morning. I was like, I have no clue where to even dive in today. Mm-hmm. And I looked down, I'm like, you know what? Like, let's do some research. And so I was going through the whole book of Philippians, and in my Bible, it shares like the whole backstory of like the author. And in this case, it's Paul. And he's writing to the Philippians as like a thank you letter for the gift that he received while he was in prison from them. And I was just trying to put myself in Paul's shoes and be like, okay, like this dude has gone through it,
Right.
like he's trying to dedicate his life to Jesus. He's put in arguably one of the worst circumstances, like in jail. And I get to like the situation in which Philippians 4:13 is. And it says like, what hit me very hard was the verse right before this. And it says, I have learned the secret of living in every situation, whether it's with a full stomach or empty, with plenty or little. And I almost had to like stop and be like, wow, and then go back and reread it again, because I mean, you can relate to this. Like we've both been on missions trips where you see some of the strongest faith from some of the people that have the least amount of material things.
Right.
Or even like health things. Like,
absolutely everything. Literally all the things that we take for granted, like hot water. Like have you guys ever showered and it's like you have hot water, but then you showered for like a little too long and then the hot water's, and we're like, dang, like I'm like yelling at my brother because he got in the shower. Like some people don't ever get hot water or don't have water at all. Mm-hmm. So yeah, absolutely.
And that just like changed my perspective on the way I view the way God works in my life. You know, like I think I was talking to my younger brother about this because it's been interesting to watch him go through his faith. Yeah. And I see a lot of like my faith early on in him, where you almost, as you're starting to develop your relationship with God, you see God as like this tool in your tool bag. Yeah. And I feel that's like what that verse represents when you say like, when you take it by itself. When you take like, for I can do all things through Christ who strengthens me by itself, you're looking at God as a tool that you can just carry around and use when you need it, rely on that like superhuman power whenever. But then it's like that next step in becoming a mature Christian is like, okay, but it's more than that. It's about like, how are you going to rely on God when you have nothing and when you have everything? Like Paul has been somebody who has been like ruling over others and at first persecuting Christians and having that authority to now literally having zero authority and being at the absolute bottom of the food chain. And yet he still continued to rely on God, and then says like, now I can do everything, even when he's stripped. I just think that's like so powerful. And that was a realization for me.
Absolutely. I love it because I feel like like as much as everybody knows Philippians 4:13. Actually, like used to be like, oh, like because that's my birthday, 4:13.
Yeah.
So I used to be like, oh, like
Oh,
that's
wait,
my
that's
favorite
funny.
verse. Like when I was little, my mom was like, that's why it's your favorite verse. Like I used to actually say like because it's my birthday. Like, but everybody knows that. Like
Mm-hmm.
Philippians, everybody knows that verse. But like I feel like no one ever actually looks before it or after it or even thinks to dissect it or open it up. So I love that you even like thought about that because I think it's so important, and especially for this generation who loves that verse and put it on shoes and put it in bios and put it all over the place. I think it's important to really know what we're saying, you know? It's not just I can do all things through Christ, but it's like when, why, how, with what, with who, you know? So I love that perspective.
Yeah. It's really like, and you know, it came when I was looking at it and like trying to understand why God like placed that verse on my heart. It like came during a time when like financially like things in the family were rough and like stuff like that, and it it was great for me because I was able to use it as a rock and remember the fact, like almost go back to the basics and be like, okay, like when you have nothing, who gives you something, you know, like who is that something that you have, and it's Jesus, and it's like so incredible.
Absolutely. I think that like when we think about all the things we don't have, and sometimes we can forget that we're like living in answered prayers. And I think that like this verse, it really does go for everything. So then I do think it's great that everybody knows this verse and everybody does put it in their bios and put it all over the place, because it is genuinely something that does, it's like a one size fits all, because you really can do all things through Christ who renews your strength.
Yeah.
But when we say that, like we're really trying to let you guys know that it really is everything, but it's also like not to just like take it and run with it, you know, like really know what you're saying, know what you're reading, know what you're representing, and make sure that, you know, you have a conversation with God about it, because I know that like God does give discernment. I remember sometimes like I would like open my Bible, have no idea what's going on. Like the Bible can be complicated. It can be hard to understand, but God gifts discernment. He gifts understanding. He gifts wisdom. So really all you have to do is ask and try, you know? So love it.
And kind of connecting it back to like this Christmas spirit, like these like holiday spirits, is, you know, like all the gifts we could possibly get. You know, Jesus says that his gift is the greatest, the gift of Jesus really, in like our salvation. And what like stood out to me is before, like earlier on in Philippians chapter 4, it says that you are my joy and the crown I receive from my work. And that's Jesus talking about like his followers and the people of Philippi. And that like for me just resonated, because for him, like he could want and have anything, Jesus. And for him, he says like, you people are my joy. And I just think that's so important, because like so many people, including myself, we get lost in like the material wants and all these other things, where Jesus says like, you know, my peace, like the peace you find in me is the greatest gift I could ever give you.
Absolutely. I know that we can get so stressed about things that aren't coming with us, you know, like we can get stressed and upset or even distracted from the things that really matter, like family and love and Jesus, because I always say like love is all that matters anyway. At the end of the day, like you can lose things that are materialistic, you can lose, but for me, like losing a person is 10 times worse than like losing a bracelet or something that was like so special to me, materialistic, because it's not coming with us, you know, like when Jesus comes, like it's just not coming. Like your Birks aren't coming with you, like, you know, like
all your aesthetic flicks don't
for
matter,
real, like y'all got, like it's cute to have those. I love to dress up, I love to like, but at the end of the day, like your low exposure photo dumps are not coming with you, so pay attention, you know.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah.
What else is like, I know as for you as a senior, you know, like you're probably starting to question like a lot about like what steps are next, and you probably got so much of that like this holiday season, like, oh, what's like, what are you thinking? And
that
like,
one question, like,
oh,
what
I know.
college?
Trust me, that
I'm mainly just trusting in God, because I like the future is like such a big thing, and I was just like talking about this on my mental health episode, like the future is something that used to stress me out so much, and now I'm just like chill, like I don't really care. Like what's that verse that's like, do do not worry about tomorrow because tomorrow brings its own trouble. I think
Yep.
it's in Matthew. Don't worry about tomorrow. You know, I'm just like, I obviously care, guys. I'm not like just living recklessly, like whatever. I don't care about my future, but like I'm, you know, applying to colleges. I think I'm going to major in creative writing. I love writing. I love reading. And that's just like so important to me. And I will continue to pursue my ministry on the side. And then just wherever God wants to take me, you know, I'm willing to go if he wants to take me.
Yeah. And that's awesome because, like, again, in Philippians chapter 4, it says, don't worry about anything. Instead, pray about everything.
Yes.
Tell God what you need. Thank him for all that he has done. And then you'll experience God's peace. And that's that gift, you know?
I love it. And it really is the best gift because even though we are, you know, well past, you know, the holidays are kind of coming to an end, like the holiday season, we can get confused. We can feel some holiday seasons can be really hard for people, you know, whether you lost a loved one or you feel like you're losing yourself. I remember last holiday season, I was losing my mind. Like I wasn't having a good time. So it can be hard to be surrounded by all this laughter and lights and all these things when you don't really feel the best. So I think that something that we wanted to like highlight is that like during the holiday season, it's like really important to remember the fact that the real gift is Jesus and his peace and his grace and his mercy and like all of the things that he gives us with every single day, you know, not just on the 24th or the 25th. Yeah. Even though that's the day that we appreciate his birth because, you know, hello, like Jesus, he's here. But he gives us with like these presents every single day that nobody could ever compare to. So I love that take on it. I do.
Yeah, it's powerful.
Yeah.
I don't know if you noticed, but I rocked the pink shirt just for the Him and I podcast. I was expecting you to be in like some crazy pink, and I was like, oh, I gotta match the energy.
And I'm in like red. Like I never even wear
like,
red.
You were going with like the Christmas vibe, and I was
trying to like be festive because I feel like I don't even know what I'd be wearing.
Type fit.
Stop, bro. Do I look like if I was a boy, like my name would be Jack right now.
Like Jack, yeah.
Lumberjack, like I cut down trees with an axe.
Curly mullet, backwards hat.
But I feel bad because like I told him like, why didn't you tell me? And he was like, oh, like I just thought you'd have pink on. Like I just assumed. But next time we do an episode, we're gonna twin. Like we won't forget about that. But I appreciate that because guys, my favorite color is pink. If you guys didn't know that. If you guys didn't know, my favorite color is pink. But I do appreciate that. I mean, I love all the pink going on, so it's perfect.
And going back to like what my faith has been, what I've had to deal with as far as like my relationship with God in college, you know, one thing that I've like struggled with kind of is like the people who or like the friends that are placed in your life because of like the situation, but then the friends that you get to choose.
Oh, yeah.
Because it's like when you're in college, you're going to be dorming with people. Like as freshmen at High Point, we're not able to choose like our roommate and suite mates or whatever. So like I was given these people. And, you know, I see that as like God trying to put these people in my life. And so for me, it's been this battle of like witnessing to them, but also not conforming to the way that they act. You know what I mean? And that's been something that like I definitely I'm not alone in that. I've heard from some of my friends that like it's very similar, and you know, I try to do the small things to like show them that like there's more to life than just like the average college experience, you know?
Yeah, of course.
Like they all know that I'm awake in the morning because usually I'm the first one up, and like I'm blasting like my worship music while I'm in the shower, and like
I love that.
They know, so
I think it's like I think we definitely need to do like a college one because I think that your advice to so many young boys and girls who could be going through that transition, because it is a big transition. You know, high school, it's like this is what you have for 4 years. Like that's it. This is all you're getting. But I feel like college is so much more personal and independent from what I know, because guys, I'm still a kid.
But it's also like, you know, for you, I know that for like one of your biggest supporters is your mom.
Yes.
And like when you go to college, that isn't as close. You know what I mean? Even if you're close,
right? It's
like
still
distance. It's still not the same. And it's like, okay, Eliana, put your big girl pants on. And like you gotta like wake up every day and choose like I want to be a woman of God. I want to be a man of God, and display that in your actions and and everything. So.
I think that's like so important because at the end of the day, like support systems are so important to have, and you should always have somebody for the rest of your life to be, you know, supportive. But it's great that you have that stage where you have to be by yourself, not necessarily by yourself because you're surrounded by friends, but like you have to be just Seb. You know, you can't have your mom or your brother or your dad like to push you. You kind of have to remember that seed that they planted and hold on to it. You know, like they're still there. They can call you, they can text you. You come back to see them. But I love the fact that like we do get put in seasons where we have to learn, because at the end of the day, like it's really just you and God, like at the end of the day. So I think that that's just such a great point.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if there's anything else you wanted to like add before you wrap.
Trying to think.
It's okay if no. Like I just like to ask, because then like people are like, wait, I wanted to. And I'm like, chill.
Yeah, no, I think that you know, as I go back like for my second semester, there's a lot of things I want to do differently.
Mm-hmm.
As far as like I feel like I have some like experience under my belt now of like things that worked and things that didn't work. So I think that going back, you know, I need to prioritize like my time with God.
Yes.
And something that I started to do was like, I'm a morning person, but
I am not.
college can change that. when you have like days where your classes aren't till like 5:30 p.m. It's like, do I really get up this morning? But it's one of those things where, you know, like on my mirror, I try to keep a list of like my priorities, my priorities in life. And sometimes I just find them all out of whack. So I try to use Sunday as like a day to like plan out my week. And for me, it's been awesome to really like keep my priorities straight and be like, and I almost like, I take mental note of it. It's like, okay, how many times did I go to the gym this week?
Right.
All right. How many times did I like disciple with others? Ooh, like if God is my number one priority, why am I going to the gym more than I'm like diving into the word or like other things like that, you know? So that's been like a big realization.
That's great. I love the organization. I'm really jealous that you're a morning person, because I want to be a morning person so bad. Like, guys, that's my only thing left to check off the Proverbs 31 woman. But I literally cannot get up before 9 a.m. I'm sorry. Like, I can't. Like, and for school, like, that's my biggest struggle. Like, I literally was, like, in college, you get to pick your schedule, no?
Yeah.
No 8 a.m. classes for me. I'm not getting up at
I'm like,
chill.
so
I have to learn.
My first semester, I had all like 9:15ish classes, which is perfect.
That's not bad.
I would get up, go eat breakfast, read the word. But now I was like, shoot, like I need to get to bed earlier. So I gave myself all 7:50s. Like every day of the week, I gave myself 7:50s.
Oh my gosh.
But the blessing is like, for me, I enjoy it because I feel like I'm most productive in the beginning of the day.
I love that.
And, you know, I think that it's going to allow me to be like dive deeper with my relationship and be able to like attend a lot of like the things I want to go to in the afternoon.
This is inspiring. I have to lock in. I literally got up one time at 5 a.m. One time. And I went to the gym, and then I went to work, and then like I always find time to pray, but I usually pray like in the night because I'm a nighttime. I'm a night owl.
See, for me, I'll end up like asleep
Falling
or
asleep.
like
No.
just like anything. That's why I have to like I make sure that I like read the word and like
so you make
pray
sure you get it
before I go to the gym, because I know anything after the gym is like like I'm gonna be exhausted.
I'm full of energy at night. Like in the day, I'm actually tweaking. I'm like falling asleep, and then like the second it's like after 8 p.m., I'm like, it's time to party. Like I'm having a great time. Like God be hearing me yap at nighttime. That's crazy how people are different. I wish I was a morning person though. I feel like that's so like put together. Like,
but see, then the struggle comes is when I try to be both people, and then I'm like a walking zombie.
Yeah,
I'm relying on like Celsius every day, and like
I've been trying to be a morning person for months, but I can do all things through Christ who strengthens me, you guys.
That's how you got it done.
It's okay. But thank you guys so much for hanging out with us today, and thank you, Seb, for coming on and
thank you. I appreciate
hanging out with me and my people. It was really nice to have you. Thanks for wearing pink. It's really appreciated. I'm really excited, guys, because Seb got me Chipotle, and you guys
grandma's cookies
those
are like. That's a big deal.
Guys, you guys know how much I love Chipotle. Like, I be talking about this all the time. So when he texted me, he's like, hey, like, I'm going to go to Chipotle. And I was like, yes, I'm so excited. So we hope you guys loved this episode. We hope it was a blessing for you. As you guys know, I'm trying to, like, you know, branch out, do more than just worship and podcasts. You guys can take a look at my other videos. I'll leave them linked. Socials will be linked too. Worship nights on Fridays, all the good stuff. You guys know that I have a hard time listing them at the end of this. Seb, it was great to have you. Give me a high five.
You got to tap in. Eliana's doing great stuff here.
Thank you. Thanks, except for waking up in the morning. But
yeah, except for waking up. That's next on the list.
You guys will definitely see this kid again. Probably.
Oh yeah, we'll definitely be back. Maybe
Yes.
we could do like a Zoom thing too.
Oh yeah, I'm trying to figure that out because there's some people that I want to connect with, but it's like online.
Yeah.
I'm still in the process, y'all. This is only like episode 12. Like, you gotta chill on me. 13. I don't even know. But anyways, love you guys like crazy, and I will see you guys next time. Bye.
Bye, guys.